So how about testing backups? I mean, that's one of those things
Yeah.
that, and I'm going to talk about this again in our RTO and RPO conversation, is I don't think a backup's a backup unless you've actually tested it. And so many times we've run into people who thought they were running backups and they never have ever tested that backup. And I think that we've seen some sad stories where people didn't have an option for recovery because they hadn't, their backups that they thought were running were not actually working.
Yeah, I mean, I think the testing is important, and that's also how you come up with your strategy. I this applies to more than just SQL Server, but how often are you getting a full backup? And the thing that I think about is a lot of the times I like to get a full backup once a week, differentials daily, and log backups every 5 to 15 minutes. Some cases every 1 minute, depending on the customer's requirements for recovery point objective. But I've certainly seen less with SQL Server, but more with other backup software. There's some backup software that they say, well, we do basically like differentials forever. We only ever do, or not differential forever, but basically we only ever do what's changed, and we never do a full backup. We only do a full backup once. And anytime that I've used software like that, I always like, hey, let's like every week get a full backup, and then we'll do our incrementals. Incremental forever was what I was looking for, which is not a SQL Server term, but you'll see that with backup software, and make sure that you're I would not do incremental forever. But what I'm thinking about, and you and I have seen this before, is backup software and internal SQL Server backups fighting with each other. Instead of one of them being set to copy only, they're both truncating the logs. And in that case, because the customers didn't test their backups, they didn't realize it, and they didn't have any monitoring in place to tell them that their backup software was fighting each other. And they only had full backups to go back to. They couldn't go back to these log backups that they thought that they were getting, because they were being basically truncated by the backup software.
Oh yeah, we've seen that too many times. And in fact, that's one of our checks that we have in our